How's it going? Yeah, I'm making some brown bread. One of the guys gave me a recipe earlier on during the week, and so I have it in the oven there, and it smells quite good. So I was thinking earlier on what I was going to have with it, what I was going to make with it. So I'm going to make a soup. I have this really nice soup recipe. I've made it a few times, and it's a chestnut and thyme soup. Very easy to make. There's only 4 or 5 ingredients in it, and I think it's one of those ones, if you make it once, you kind of make it again. So yeah, so let's have a look at the ingredients. Right, so let's have a look at the ingredients. So for starters, so we got some chestnuts. So there's 200 grams of those. I don't know if you've used these before, but these are they're very easy to get. I got them down Super Value earlier on. So these are already cooked and peeled. So all you're doing is chopping chestnuts basically. And I said there's 200 grams there. I got some vegetable stock. There's 500 milliliters of that. That's one of those Knorr veg stock pots. You could use chicken stock as well with that. Anyway, so that's what I'm using. I got some cream, so 200 milliliters of cream, and got some port. So there's 50 ml of that. You can use sherry or port or Madeira with it. Possibly you could use brandy, but anyway. So I'm using some port with that. Got some shallots. So I have two of these guys just chopped up, and 2 tablespoons of thyme, 2 tablespoons fresh thyme, and some butter, 25 grams of butter, and then I got some seasoning. So yeah, so they're the ingredients. So look, we'll bring it to the pot and see how it works out. So yeah, we're ready to go with this. So I'm going to put the butter in. So the butter goes in first, the shallots and the thyme. So just going to cook that for a minute or two on a high heat. I guess I could pause that while we're waiting for it. So yeah, I fried the thyme and the shallots there for about 2 minutes. So now I'm going to add the port, and I'm going to let that reduce down to a glaze. So probably take another couple of minutes. So that's reduced right down. So it's pretty much the port is evaporated, and I guess it kind of brings a kind of a sweetness to the soup. So I'm going to add the chestnuts, the stock, and the cream. So I'm going to let that cook, not for too long. Maybe just bring it to a boil basically, and then we're going to blend it with a hand blender and be kind of good to go then. So yeah, so I've brought that to the boil, so it's boiling there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a hand blender and blend it, and then add some seasoning, salt and pepper, and taste it and just make sure you're happy with that. Obviously the seasoning is quite important, so you need to get that part of it right. So now I'm just going to blend it there. So that's blended, so I'm just going to add some seasoning and give it a taste. So a bit of salt and pepper. Kind of go easy on the salt because there's some salt in the vegetable stock pot, so don't overdo it in salt. So it's easier to add it anyway than take it away. So we'll just see how it just tastes. That tastes fine to me. So we're good to go. Delighted with that. It tastes really good. So yeah, we're good to serve this. So the bread is ready. So the bread turned out fantastic. Delighted with that bread. It was a great recipe. So what I'm going to do first is I kept some of the chestnuts back, just chopped them up, and just going to put those in the base of the bowl, so we kind of get a bit of a crunch when you're eating it because it's smooth soup. And I wouldn't overdo with this soup because it's quite rich with the cream. So I think 1 ladle is about right, maybe a little bit more. That'll do. And I'm just going to add a little bit of thyme to the top. So there you go, that's chestnut and thyme soup with some really nice brown bread. Toodly pips.